Hello there, Quicksilver Slash here, and today I have something special for you. This game is courtesy of my friend NVMountainDew, and he's driving his M4A3E2 Sherman Jumbo equipped with a 105mm howitzer, which in my opinion is the best gun for this tank. With the armor, you almost play this thing like a heavy, and that howitzer has the potential at the tier to still put out consistent damage, whereas if you're using the other guns that come with it, I find if you're not top tier, the guns can't perform as well, whereas with HE, you can always put something in. So he's playing on Serene Coast, and he goes where most heavy tanks go, out to the peninsula near the water, try to lock down one of the flanks. And this game, right from the get-go, you're going to see he's in for work. So the OI on his team just got a team kill. So they're already down one tank, and an enemy hasn't even been spotted. So right now NV is just driving out, trying to get to an advanced position where he can spot things and get some free shots at anything trying to push up. So he's going to go right up under this rock here and just wait. And that's one of the big things you have to do, is be patient. I know myself, a lot of times I'll get to this point, I won't see anything for a bit, and I'm like, you know what, I can sneak up. But he does the right thing here. He's just going to sit and be patient, because yes, a Jackson's been spotted, but you don't know who's with the Jackson or what is sitting on that back bluff just waiting for you to get spotted to nuke you. Meanwhile, you can see on the other half of the map just that mass of enemies pushing down the northwestern flank. And with the numbers they have over there, nothing's going to stop them. And you can just see slowly members of both teams are melting. There goes that team killing OI, so he's no longer a threat to anyone on his own team. And we can now see what's hiding in the back there. So he pulls forward, goes to put a shot into the back of the Jackson, and he just misses. I would have led a little more. You know, it's HE. He was going, I think, for just the very back, the thinnest armor on that thing. But to throw away that shot definitely hurt. He ended up eating some shots from the M44 artillery, and that's something he is perpetually cautious of this game. You never really see him sit still when he's spotted, and it's because there's 3 Arty on each team. And there goes the Jackson. So that is one tank down. But already the scores were 4-7. Now they're 4-8. His team claws one back. But that's about the best they're going to do for the rest of this match. So Envy right now doesn't really want to advance because there's that deadly SU-100Y, and with a good shot and some lucky RNG, he could potentially one-shot him right now. And even with the extra armor that the Sherman Jumbo has, that's not a risk you want to take. So he continues to sit and wait, but has enough of it. Seeing his base getting pushed in, he does the smart thing. He turns around, head back, defend the cap. Because no matter what the odds and the numbers are, you can't win a game if your cap gets taken from you. And if the enemy has a chance to really group up in there and get some numbers into the cap, you're never going to pry it away from their fingers. Unfortunately, it isn't the shortest drive, and in the time he gets over there, you can see his tanks are still just getting picked off. That M44 is now all alone, and he is going to be goner soon as well. Meanwhile, that Leopard is making a brave run on the SU-100Y and the M44. He probably actually stood a chance if there was only one of them up there, because both of them he could just carousel and use that little woodpecker gun to just rip them apart. Unfortunately, the M44 was sitting right next to him, and the Leopard soon perishes as well. So we've got a Churchill spotted on low health. I think this is where he makes one minor misplay. The Churchill was coming up And you'll see he does get up to get the kill. I think he could have gotten a shot in and potentially killed that Churchill before the Artie died, but it would have only been prolonging the inevitable with the numbers. He gets the Churchill, he gets the revenge in, and the 1v9 is soon a 1v8, and then quickly, with a single shell into that Covenanter, a 1v7. He's now facing off against the Tier 5 Japanese premium tank, the Chinu Kai. It may not have much armor, but that gun can actually be pretty pesky. Luckily he's on low health and isn't playing too aggressively. Gives Envy a chance to push up onto him and take the initiative, which is something else you need to do when you're down like this. You can't sit back and hope everyone comes at you one at a time like you see in some games. When you're down this much, you need to be on the advance. You need to keep your position mobile, especially with this amount of Artie. You don't want them to have a chance to pre-aim for the second you get shot or spotted. And there goes the Chinu Kai. And he's going to make pretty quick work of this M8A1, one of the Steel Clubber favorite tanks. Though it appears he's firing AP because he is doing no damage and he's got the longer barreled gun rather than the little derp cannon that can fit to that tank. So Artie continues to pester him, getting some damage in. And unfortunately, he doesn't know where anyone is anymore, which is not a position that's nice to be in. And the last spotted positions of most of the tanks aren't that helpful to him. You know, the M44 and the SC-100Y were last spotted almost at their base, as was the only other tank. So he doesn't really have a good indication of where to go to best ambush these tanks. That can be the problem you face when you're 1v9 like he is. You no longer have the vision that a friend can offer in a light tank or something. And that Leopard could have been really useful playing passively. But luckily their M44 decided to advance, probably heading in hoping to engage shotgun mode. Makes short work of him. And now it's just 1v4. He's in a pretty safe spot right here. Oh, there's an SU-85. Quickly kills him. And this gun can just be so effective because pretty much anything at this tier, especially lower than his tier, isn't going to have enough armor to stop this thing all the time. So you can get those penetrating shots for the massive damage, and even the times it doesn't penetrate, you're still looking at 200 to 300 damage if you manage to get the side or even the front of a lot of these tanks. So Envy's in a pretty safe spot here. He's got some good cover from the enemy Artie, and he's just working back and forth, checking the arcs that the enemy could be coming in on, trying to spot them before they see him. And that's pretty much all you have to do. You know, he can't go on the aggressive and try to run up and cap because he's not particularly fast and he's not very stealthy. And right now, it's the enemy's game to lose. And there's the mighty box tank. And it looks like the Leopard almost did manage to kill him earlier. So this will be an easy one shell. He connects anywhere with that HE on this guy. He's dead. Unfortunately, with how close they are to each other, they're both perma-spotting each other by proximity. But the SU-100 fires a little early, puts the round into the ground, making him an easy kill. So this is where it can be a little tricky to make your decision. It's still 2v1 against him, but odds are the other tanks aren't going to come forward, especially Artie. You can't expect them to come to you, and you don't want to throw all the time you have away, so he goes on the advance now, having killed 7 of the enemy tanks. The enemy team's already calling it good game. You can see there in chat. They got the early lead, but rather than push as a group, they kind of came at him one at a time, and he was smart, didn't let them sneak up behind him, kept his position mobile, and managed to just eat away at them. Now personally, I would not have driven on this side of the rocks. With his visibility and his camouflage, he could have easily been spotted here, and it looks like he was, because that was a very accurate shot from Artie. And you'll notice he doesn't have Sixth Sense. So personally, I would have gone to the other side of that little hill, kept him covered. It may not have hid him from this French premium artillery, but you never know where the enemy is in some of these situations, and it would have just kept him safer. And he lucks out there a little, sneaking away with just over 30 hit points. He gave that French Artie a good chance to kill him, sitting still like that. And that premium French artillery is deadly. Its rate of fire rivals that of the FV304. But now it's 1v1. Him versus the AMX 13F on the other team. With just over 3 minutes remaining, lots of time to cap if needed, but he's got to be careful, because at this point, even if that Artie manages to land a shell near him, it could do enough damage to get the kill, and that would be quite the heartbreak for him to lose it at this point. But it would be hard to be disappointed with the result. 9 kills. But right now he's fighting for that Colabanos medal, the Pools medal. There's a lot of big ticket items up for grabs here. So he decides to go into the cap and pressure the Artie to come to him. And it's probably a pretty decent play, because the Artie has 2 choices right now. He can either sit and randomly pepper at the cap, hoping he gets the reset, or he's got to advance. And there's not a ton of good cover to keep him concealed during advance, so odds are he might get spotted, and it'll wreck his aim. If he's moving and suddenly spots NVMountainDew sitting here in cap, he's going to have to stop and aim, which gives NV a chance to get him. We just see the 2-minute warning pop up. Time is ticking down, but he's already more than 50% capped. So at this point you start to wonder, is the Artie deciding, nope, I want to live? But then there he goes. He shows up right over his shoulder, and the Artie doesn't fire. So either he didn't have the shot or was waiting to aim. He's given a bit of that side copula, and there is the game. So now we will cut to post-game. Now no one is going to be disappointed with a result like this. Master Gunner, Reaper, his Mastery Badge, got a Pascucci's medal for killing 3 artillery, Pools medal for killing 10 enemies, High Caliber, Top Gun, Steel Wall, and Colabanos medal for standing versus more than 5 enemies at the end of the game. Made 38,000 credits and 3,281 experience. And just look at that kill list. And a whole number of these tanks he got in single hits. They were on medium to low health, and with that 105mm, he just cut through them. Obviously top of the team, 1,367 experience, 2,228 damage done, and 10 kills. These are the games I wish I had. Sadly, I've never managed to survive a situation quite as well as. And moving into the detailed report, 18 shots fired. Of those, 15 hit, All of them are going to do some damage. He managed to block 765 damage with his armor. A key portion of that came right at the end when that French premium artillery had a chance to shoot him, but the thick frontal armor of this tank held up, kept him in the game to walk away with Pools and Kolobanovs. Had 22,742 credits with the premium account and 3,281 experience. I'd like to thank NVMountainDew for sharing this game with me and allowing me to review it and put it up on this YouTube channel. I really enjoyed watching it. Don't have many of these games myself. Never had a game quite like this myself. So it was a pleasure to get to watch and be able to share with all of you. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to have some World of Warships for you tomorrow.